Okay, what is up, everyone? Hello and welcome to the pre-stream. First of all, I'm under the weather, as you can hear. Still, it sucks. Oh, wasn't that nice? Yeah, I'm still under the weather. I'm still congested. I still have issues here with my sinuses and my throat in particular today. It's giving me a lot of problems, okay? So in advance, I want to apologize. I'm not going to sound good today. I haven't sounded good all week, I know. It is what it is. The cold is progressing, which is good. It is going through all the different various symptoms of a bad cold. So what I'm hoping is within the next few days, it will finally be cleared up. We'll see. Maybe within the next few days, a miracle will happen here. I'm doing everything I can, you know what I mean? I'm taking it easy. I actually had soup yesterday and staying hydrated and staying vitamins in my body and everything. So I'm doing my best to heal up here for you, okay? In addition, I'm continuing on with all the ongoing playthroughs, okay? And today's stream here will be Final Fantasy 15, about 4.5 hours. It's an extended stream. I'll be playing for an extra hour on top of what I usually play, because I do want to get as far as I can. I am now progressing in the story. I have gone to Altissia. I believe there's a huge epic event coming up right now. And then, I'll see how far I can get today. I don't know how long the remaining story of Final Fantasy 15 actually is. But I'm going to see what we can do here today, okay? Now, there is the possibility at some point maybe I'll go back and I'll check out the dungeons that I missed after I gain a few more levels doing the story. We'll see. But unfortunately, you're going to hear me clearing my throat and doing all this stuff all day because of this stupid fucking cold. And I apologize, okay? So, that's the plan for today. Later tonight, I'm doing the weekly preview, and I am finally taking all the patron messages that I received over the past week, and I'm going to send all those to my webmaster with all the information to get those patrons upgraded on my forums so that they can start to post up and register for the upcoming multiplayer events that will take place after Christmas and then in early January. Jesus Christ. What a pain in the ass. This cold, man. I hate getting fucking sick. I really do. Ugh. So, anyway. That's the plan for today. Tomorrow will be 2 gameplay sessions. I'm not sure what they're going to be yet. More than likely, one of them is going to be The Last Guardian. A lot of people are saying to me, why haven't I gone back to the game? It's very simple. 2 main reasons. The first is because I'm very much interested in all the other stuff going on. Right now, I'm really interested in Dead Rising 4 and Final Fantasy. I'm liking both games. I want to play them more than anything else right now, And if I want to play them more, I'm going to play them more, all right? The other thing is, when I played The Last Guardian last week, no one really liked it. And, I'm not exaggerating here. I played it on stream for 3.5 hours, and the consensus of the stream was that the game was boring as dirt, and that I shouldn't play it. Most people were telling me to quit it. I'm not even kidding. They were like, Phil, this really sucks. And, this game is just not very interesting, and, what a disappointment for a game that took 10 years to develop, right? And, there has not been any kind of mass demand for me to go back to the game. So I'm playing the games that I'm enjoying the most, especially because I've been sick. If I'm going to suffer through being sick, I want to play the games that I've been enjoying the most. All right. So, at least from an initial perspective of 3.5 hours of gameplay, The Last Guardian was a pretty big disappointment. Okay. Ugh. Oh, my freaking nose. Stupid cold. I hate it. Now, I will try to play it tomorrow. We'll see. Tomorrow, I'll probably give it another shot. I'll play a session of it, and I'll see what I feel about it. All right? I'm hoping the game gets better, but so far, there's been no story. There has been pretty much absolutely no real gameplay outside of basic puzzle solving and platforming. So, the game is pretty basic, and the graphics suck because the frame rate's so low. It's pretty bad. I mean, I don't know what else to say. The game is pretty much a huge disappointment. So, since there's been no real desire for me to go back, that's why I didn't play it this week. But I would consider going back, like I said. Here, I'm gonna have a cough drop because my fucking throat is killing me here. Ugh. Hold on. Jack White in the stream chat just says, well, the game gets better. Well, that's a fault of the game then. If I could play a game for 3.5 hours and the game hasn't engaged me within 3.5 fucking hours, that is a major shortcoming of the game. That means the game designers failed. They should have made the game more engaging early on so you want to keep playing it, not go through really boring shit at the beginning to get to something good, you know? Okay. Cough drop. Alright, hopefully the cough drop will help me. Okay. So, all that being said, tomorrow, more Last Guardian. I'm not sure what else I'm gonna play. I'm probably doing 2 sessions tomorrow. We'll see. I'll play it by ear, and I'll decide maybe tomorrow night what I want to play. Tuesday. Tuesday will be fun. Something completely different. Tuesday, there is a Christmas update for Overwatch, including a new Christmas-themed map and Christmas outfits, apparently, which will be pretty neat. And Tuesday night, I'm going to be doing the final episode of Batman the Telltale series. Now, I haven't really streamed Batman at all. I only streamed it twice, if I remember correctly. I'm trying to remember. I might have only streamed it once the first time. And I'm not on the fence about streaming it. I would consider streaming it, alright, if people wanted it. But I don't know how much demand there's going to be for me to stream Batman. So we'll see. But basically, Tuesday is the only day this week that there's anything new happening. Outside of that, you're going to see continuous coverage of Dead Rising 4, Final Fantasy 15, The Last Guardian. And yes, I do want to say this. I am going to return to Pokemon, okay? So, FYI, if you are looking forward to Pokemon, and you've been liking the Pokemon playthrough, and you've been wanting to see more Pokemon, and you're like, what happened to Pokemon? Well, it's coming. Pokemon is coming. It's just the fact of that sadly, there's been all these new releases going on, and I've really been focused on them. And, you know, I always said this, too. I said that Pokemon would be the game that's the downtime game. The game that I balance with everything else, okay? So, that being said, Pokemon will return. It's just that it's going to come back once I start finishing up all the new releases, you know? So, potentially, you know, from what I'm to understand, I'm pretty far into Dead Rising 4 right now, and I probably got maybe another 2 major sessions of it. So maybe once I start finishing it, then I will jump back into Pokemon, and Pokemon will be the game that I'm balancing with the other ongoing stuff, you know what I mean? And then as I start finishing up all these playthroughs, I start reviewing the games over on KO Gaming. And then, you know, then I'm going to get to the year-end series. And, you know, a lot of people have been saying, excuse me. I'm choking to death. Great. A lot of people have been saying, you know, gee, what's going to happen with other stuff? Like, for example, I threw around the idea of doing more casualized streams. Streams where I basically aren't playing the game for the sake of gameplay, but I'm playing the game just to have kind of an interactive experience with the stream chat. You know, more chill streams, as people like to say. And, you know, I threw that idea around, and some people are like, well, why don't you just do that right now? Well, the answer is pretty simple, because I'm too busy. You know? It's one thing to try out something new. It's another thing to completely disrupt your entire business to try something new. And right now, as you guys and gals know, I'm in the middle of 4 major playthroughs. I've got the reviews of those games I need to focus on. I got new stuff coming up every week. And I got the year-end series that I need to start working on. So there's just no way that I would be able to just drop everything just for the sake of being able to do a chill stream and try it out and see how it works. Now, I want to, and don't get me wrong, this is an idea that I'm definitely going to try out. In fact, I mean, I've already talked about it a million times. The Patreon goal for this month, the Patreon goal, is that I'm going to do a marathon chill stream in January, okay? So, it is coming. I am going to try it out. But, the bottom line is, I have to get time for it. Right now, all of my time is strapped between all these new releases and the fact that I've been sick, you know? That's the other thing, you know, because I've been sick, I missed out on a major stream the other day. That was 3.5 hours of gameplay. And the day before that, or 2 days before that, I missed out on another 2 hours. So I'm already lost 5 hours of work this week because of this goddamn cold. You know, a lot of people say, well, why doesn't Phil just not work until he's better? Like, yeah, right. Yeah, okay. So imagine this. I got my sore throat originally on Tuesday when the new releases came out. So imagine if I didn't work Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Now, of course, people might say, well, if you didn't work for several days, you probably would have got better quickly. Well, yeah, okay, maybe if I hadn't talked for several days, I would have got better more quickly. That is true. And I also would have had no money. And I'm sorry, because some people just seem to understand that I have to pay my bills, you know? They still think that this is 2008 Phil, who I would go to work and I would come home and maybe play games for an hour or two a night and record it and upload it to YouTube on a casual whim, just to dick around. It's not, you know. This has been my job since 2011. You know, I have to treat it seriously, and I have to be dedicated to it, and I have to tough through this kind of shit to keep producing product. That's really what it is. I produce product, you watch that product, and I get to pay my bills, you know. So, that's the deal. I'm toughing through it. Here's hoping within a few days I'll be up to full speed. You know, what you're going to find is that some days I'm going to be doing these extended streams like today to try to get further in when I can. When my schedule permits it, I will be doing longer gameplay sessions because I need to, okay? What I will be doing tonight is relaxing my voice a bit because I've been doing these longer streams and everything. I'm doing a longer stream, but since tonight all I'm doing is the weekend preview to talking-wise, that's good. I'll have an opportunity to relax a little bit. I might even take a nap or something tonight. So hopefully I can come back full force for this week, okay? Alright. So, I don't really have much else to talk about, especially because I'm dying here. I'd like to get into the gameplay. So really, I'm not going to do any formal plug segment. You guys have seen right here on the splash screen, you see all the plugs and everything for Twitter and my KO Gaming channel and my Patreon. I do want to say this, though. I do want to say this, okay? Patreon. I'm nervous about this month, and here's why I'm nervous. Because, you know, October, we had this big rush of people who pledged to help me because you learned about my financial woes. And in October, I had this big surge of Patreon support. November, it reduced a little bit, but I expected that because I knew a lot of people gave, you know, bigger amounts in October, and they weren't going to do that every month. This month, I don't know what's going to happen because it is the end of the year, right? Typically, a lot of people I know have bills and stuff to pay, especially if they're buying Christmas presents and everything for your family and loved ones. And I'm nervous because even though the Patreon goal is a good one this month, okay, this marathon of chill stream that I want to do in January, I've seen a bunch of patrons either lower or drop out of their pledges already. And that makes me nervous because this is something I need to pay my bills. I'm not exaggerating here. This is essential income that I'm using to pay my bills. And I know that I've had a really positive experience being here on Twitch, which is why I'm streaming so much now, because it's been a positive and profitable experience. But I don't want people to think that just because I'm on Twitch, oh, Phil's making money on Twitch now, so he doesn't need Patreon anymore. No, it's the opposite. It's the worst possible thing you can think, okay? Simply because if that becomes your mentality, then all that means is that the money's going from one place to another. And that's not the goal here. The goal here is to maintain a solid amount of funding on Patreon a month so I know what I'm making, so I can pay my bills and I can do my finances and I can figure everything out. So I'm nervous right now that people are going to be like, well, it's December and, you know, well, I'll reduce my pledge for this month. It's not a big deal. That's not the case. You know, I still need your support, okay? It's not like just because I'm making a little bit extra money on Twitch this month because I came back to it. First of all, that's temporary. because you know that a lot of people initially up front are going to support me on Twitch, and then, you know, after a while, they're not going to continuously be throwing bits my way and doing all that. It's cool that I got this up front. I'm very grateful for those of you who are here every day for the streams and who've subbed. By the way, I almost have 100 subs, which, by the way, is about more, I think, if I remember correctly, it's about on par, if not more, than what I was getting when I used to stream on Twitch full-time 2 years ago. I never, because, you know, back then, I never really talked about subs or anything. So, it was kind of just a side thing, and it wasn't a main concern of mine. Back then, I tried to run ads to make money, and then they became completely unprofitable, which is the case here. Okay, so, the deal is this. Don't sleep on Patreon. Let's put it that way. Patreon is a major source of income for me. It's really, I've said this so many times, Patreon is the reason why I can do this as a job still. If I had not adopted Patreon last year, this would have ended. It really would have. It would have ended. I would have had to go find a job and, quite honestly, probably work 2 or 3 jobs to make as much money as I'm making on YouTube, and it would have all went away. So, please, do not sleep on Patreon. I still need your support. The perks are still good. And this upcoming event of this long interactive stream, I think a lot of people want to see, but they're sleeping on it. Oh, Phil's doing okay because of Twitch. He's fine. He doesn't need this pledge this month. It's not the case. You know, listen, at the very least, $1 a month. You know what I mean? Even if it's a tight month for you and you've been an ongoing pledgee, please leave your $1 pledge. It's not a lot for you. It adds up for me. It really does help. Okay. The other thing a lot of people don't realize is that Twitch, even though Twitch is great, and the subs are great and all that, Twitch takes a lot of the money. Every time that one of you sub here on Twitch, they take half the money. Versus when you pledge to me on Patreon, Patreon takes like not even 1/10, I don't think. Okay? So you're talking, if you really want to help me the best way possible, it's Patreon. It's not Twitch. That's the bottom line. Patreon is the better way, okay? And I will say one final thing, because this is actually a point that was brought up on my forums yesterday, actually. Okay, someone said to me, Phil, why don't you just accept donations? Or why do you say that you don't accept donations, outright donations? Because most people who stream on Twitch have a donate button, right? Excuse me. They've got a donate button or a donate link or, you know, PayPal link, whatever, to just donate to them. And they get big donations during their streams, and they're constantly giving shout outs and thank yous to people who pledge donations to them during streams. Why don't I do that? All right. I'll be honest here. I'll be very honest to everyone. Here's the deal. Tax purposes. All right. There's a difference between getting money that goes through a third-party business that is fully traceable for tax purposes and just getting money sent to your bank account, okay? If I get pledges through Patreon, or if I get subs or bits, cheers through Twitch, that's good because that's all fully traceable income. When I go to my accountant in April and I give him all my information about my taxes, I say, here's all the money I made through Twitch, here's the money I made through Patreon, here's the money I made through YouTube, here's all the money, and I could give him the concrete evidence of what I've made, okay? If people just sent me money crazily through, say, PayPal, it's not traceable. So someone just tossed me a wad of money, okay? And the problem there would be, what I would then need to do is break down my entire PayPal balance for the entire year, accounting for every single transaction. I'd have to say, this one was business, this one was personal, this was a personal payment, this was a business payment, and it would become a nightmare, all right? Now, a lot of people are wondering, well, then how do these other Twitch streamers do it, right? How do they do it? Well, it's simple. It's one of two things. Either these Twitch streamers are part of a bigger established thing. For example, the esports guys, right? Or the people who are part of these bigger corporations or companies, these people who've been established for a long time, they probably have business accounts that are established. So when you say, oh, click here to donate to our team or whatever, click here to donate to our business, that's probably a business PayPal. Well, I don't have a business PayPal. I have my own personal PayPal. I've never made enough money to warrant having a business account and a personal account and all of that, okay? Number two, for those who do small amount or smaller than that, they're not paying taxes. I'm going to be honest with you. All these thousands of people who stream on Twitch daily, and they're just Joe Schmo, I'm streaming on Twitch. Oh, by the way, I have a donation link. They're not paying taxes on that. You don't think they are, do you? They're just basically taking it as someone handed them money, and they're pocketing it. And they're not reporting to any accountant like I do. These people aren't paying. By the way, accountants cost thousands of dollars. Yes, I pay thousands of dollars a year to have my taxes done properly. They're not doing that. They're just fucking pocketing the money in the hopes that the IRS will never catch up with them and not care, you know. Now, the last thing that I would want to do is start doing that, accepting these outright donations, and the next thing you know, the IRS audits me, and now I'm screwed. So that's why I don't do that, and I won't. I'm not just going to accept people just sending me money via PayPal. You have to go through one of these avenues, either Patreon or Twitch subbing or Twitch bits, whatever you want to do, okay? But that's the deal. All right, folks? That is the deal. So hopefully that kind of answered the outright question here, all right? You got to do it normal, or you got to do it properly. You got to be responsible. You can't just say, oh, give me money and then pocket it. You got to pay taxes on everything. That's just how it is in the United States of America. Every income I get, I end up paying taxes on. Okay. All right, folks. That is it for the pre-stream. Like I said, I'm not going into detail for plugs or anything. I just need to get started with gameplay, and I'm already choking to death, so I think it's time for us to start. Fair enough. All right. That is it. Thank you. Let's begin. Right where we left off, right in the middle of an epic part here, an epic scene about to start in Final Fantasy 15. And I certainly hope that you'll be excited and you'll enjoy the stream. And I will see you right now for that. Okay. Now let's see if this pre-stream recorded, because it didn't record for the past 3 days. I did run a test. Beforehand, so if this doesn't work, it has nothing to do with me. It's OBS being a piece of shit. All right, let's see.